Classy Clash is an event in which teams face each other in 8 rounds of minigames in an attempt to gain a spot in the top 2 to have a chance to win the event. Some general rules and information. Version 1.20.1 IP 73.203.21.18:6561. Whitelist is on outside of public testing and events. Anyone may spectate if they wish, so long as they are non-disruptive and don't give comms to other teams. Anyone who loses connection to the server mid-game will most likely not have their score counted for that game. Upon rejoining, they will be sent to the lobby until the game or round is over, unless the game is Town Tumble or Slippery Slapdown, where no one can join during the game to avoid game-breaking bugs. Anyone caught hacking or cheating will be banned from Classy Clash. There are systems implemented that will tell me if anyone is hacking, whether it be Movement, F3A, or X-Raying. Stay in your team's VC during the events. Cross-teaming and lag switching count as cheating. People can be subbed in or out mid-event if needed, but they should not leave mid-game, and should wait until being sent back to the lobby so they can have their score properly calculated. In some cases, scores for any given minigame may end up being truncated by up to 4 points. This is an equal likelihood of happening to anyone and will not be adjusted. If you lose out on points due to lag, your score will not be adjusted. The server utilizes custom music, so feel free to enable music for the full experience. Changes to systems and gameplay should usually be expected between events. If you are muted, attempting to bypass the mute will result in more severe punishments. Attempting to bypass the filter will get you in big trouble. Do not be surprised if you aren't put into events if you've been toxic, in or out of Classy Clash events. Creating false signups is an easy way to get banned. If your username is deemed unsuitable, you will not be considered for entry into the event. Anyone who signs up without being in the server will have their sign-up discarded. If you are put in a team and don't show up to the event, you will have low priority for the next 3 events after. For more information about scoring standards, view this spreadsheet.
https://docs.google.com/spreadsheets/d/1QON9DQLYR4G802KUT570HF_DTFYDOPDEO5_HDSLX6U. The voting system. The game order is decided by a vote or randomizer system. This means if there is 1 vote for Game A and 3 for Game B, Game A actually has a 25% chance of being randomly selected, unless there is only 1 game at the end. Each team will have randomly selected representatives vote for the game they want to play next. They can consult their team before voting, though it is not required. Each voter gets 30 seconds to make a decision after a game has been selected. The game will commence shortly after. There is no voting for Game 8, as only 1 will be left. Paintball. Use your bow to paint as much of the white canvas as possible before the time runs out. You may also attempt to take out the enemy players if your team is better at PvP. Whichever team has the most of their color in the arena when the time is up wins the round. 3 to 5 rounds are played. Kills are worth 50 points. Paint points vary based on proportion of paint per team at the end of each round, not exceeding 127 points.
Spleef. Use your shovel to break the ground beneath your enemies. You gain an arrow for every 100 blocks mined, which can be shot at the ground underneath an opponent. The layers melt every 100 seconds, outside in, so be ready for the drop when it's time. 2 rounds are played, plus 20 points for every player you have outlived.
Tropical Tour. Complete 1 lap of the island course in as little time as possible. Yellow areas speed you up, red and orange pads give you a jump boost, and going through the diamond hoop near the end will give you wings. If you lose too much height while flying, you'll be respawned right before the ring and have to try that section again, which probably will make you lose 7 places, 8 places. So first gets 600 points, second gets 500, third gets 450, fourth 400, fifth to sixth 350, seventh to eighth is 300 points, 9th to 10 is 250, 11th and 12th is 200 points, 13th, 14th, 150, 15th, 16th, 100 points. DNF, of course, you get 0 points. Yeah, so you suck if you get DNF'd.
Dynavolt. Enable particles for this. Eliminate members of the other team to win the game. It is only one round, so make it count. There is only one arrow in play, which has to be shot at enemy players. If your team fails to shoot the enemy team after 20 seconds, you will forfeit control of the arrow. Every 15 seconds, each team will receive explosive eggs, which can destroy the enemy's cloud. If these eggs are not used within 15 seconds, they will be removed, so use them fast. Players will also receive blocks until the 3-minute mark, which can be used to repair their cloud. Building outside the border marked by particles will not work and eat up your blocks. The last team standing alive wins.
Pod Panic. Make your way through a healthy combination of parkour and puzzles by traveling through 6 pods as a team before time runs out. Some pods may only require 1 or 2 people to complete a certain parkour/puzzle before opening the door for the rest of the team by stepping on pressure plates. In order to progress for the next pod, all 4 players should be standing on the black pressure plate at the end of each room. If a player disconnects, remember they can use trigger/rejoin upon reconnecting. You may need to backtrack and redo the room in order to retrieve them. It's not a perfect system, but I did my best to make it work. 30 points for each of the first 5 rooms completed. First, it's 200 unmultiplied. Second, 150 unmultiplied. Third, 100 unmultiplied. Fourth, 150 points unmultiplied. So on. DNF, you get 0 points. Pleasure.
Parkour Palooza. Race against all the other players endlessly through randomly selected parkour maps. Every 15 seconds, the first person behind will be eliminated until 1 player remains. After most of the competition is eliminated, more difficult maps will be generated. Once you complete a parkour room, step on the pressure plate and the next room will generate after 5 seconds. Checkpoints may be buggy for those with high ping, plus 40 points for every player outlived. Blind Date. Everyone on your team will have 10 seconds to enter a colored doorway corresponding to a different team. You'll be fighting someone from whichever team you decide to go up against. You will not know who this player is until the fight begins. Afterwards, you get 10 seconds to pick a gift for your date. Use that item in their fight as your weapon. You will be given armor corresponding to the gift you chose. Some gifts are stronger/weaker against other gifts and armor, so choose wisely. You and your date have 60 seconds to try and win the fight. There are multiple rounds, so be prepared. 200 points per round win, 50 points to both players should the date end in a draw.
Scavenger hunt. Each team has 200 colored heads around the map that are to be collected before time runs out. For every 15 team blocks mined, you will get a haste upgrade up to haste 5. In this game, players who get disconnected can use /trigger rejoin in quotation marks to get back in. 5 points for every head mine, 20 points for every multicolor head mine, 60 points for first place per player, 40 points for second place per player, and 20 points for third place per player.
Hunger Games. Working from the ground growing for small memory map for buffalo cooker for cooking. High quality foods give your team more points. Like the lunch in your kitchen, see the quality of all food types. Once you make some delicious food, eat it for cash and a point. You may need to move a bit to lower your hunger again. I don't give a fuck about the points. God damn. This is good.
Boombox. Run and glide around the slowly shrinking map, igniting TNT that spawns at everyone's feet while trying not to get blown up yourself. Stay within the border, otherwise you will likely be killed when the border shrinks by 2 blocks. There'll be a warning in chat before the border closes in, so keep your eyes peeled. Touching the bottom of the map will also get you killed. TNT is placed 3 seconds after being generated. Players' aim will get faster as the game progresses. The max player can have is lowered as the game goes on. Players will be damaged if they have too much health. Every player is given a rocket to use, unless they already have one. These rockets are a bit finicky and don't do well with sharp turnarounds. Lastly, Snowballs have a 3-second cooldown for being used. Plus 10 points for every player outlived. Plus 40 points for every player killed.